Yugi Bros!
Guys, Konami just released the Speed Duel Tournament Pack 2 spoiler on the card database, and they have the release date being 10/11/2019. So maybe the set does actually release. I know for a fact my local tournament store didn't get it earlier yesterday or the day before, so I want to believe that this isn't going to be global, but maybe it'll work out. Well, I guess we'll find out. Guys, remember as always to comment, like, and subscribe before we kick this off. Please click that notification bell to get all of our latest updates. And guys, I'm going to live reaction to this because a friend of mine just messaged and said, hey, the database updated the Speed Tournament Pack. So I quickly went to that. And so here we go. So I've kind of spoiled the first one here, Serpent Knight Dragon. However, earlier in the week, Facebook, there was a post in one of the Speed Duel chats that I'm in that had an ultra rare version of this. It was in German, but it had confirmed that Serpent Knight Dragon was an ultra, as it probably should be. It has a deck literally based around itself. It'd be really unfortunate if it never got a foil, so that's pretty cool. This is definitely cool. It's definitely interesting, because the ultras we had were very hit and miss in the first tournament pack, so at least this card is relevant in a deck. However, I can tell you that the very next card on this list doesn't seem to be very relevant at all, and I'm kind of sad it's an ultra, because if you finally get an ultra, I mean, I understand, iconic cards, so it is Weevil's ultimate, perfectly ultimate Great Moth, but yeah, ultra number 2 is, it could be better, but again, I know they're kind of like knocking out the iconic cards for each character, so I understand it at the same time. I'm hoping to see, like, hopefully by Tournament Pack 3, the Ultras are all kind of like tournament relevant, but you might always get some of this. Number 3, though, I'm much more interested in, and that is Barrel Dragon. This is cool. I like this. In my opinion, this should have been Ultra in the pack, but when it came out Super, it was kind of like, oh, maybe they're going to make it Ultra in the tournament pack. So here we are, and this card's really good. So, it has a deck kind of revolved around the field spell for it, but it is Bandikeet's ace card, so it makes sense that they make it foil. So there's nothing really to complain about. This is playable, unlike a certain Moth right above it. Next we have Amazonic Swordswoman. This was announced on the page itself, and it represents Mai to a lesser extent. So, I mean, sure, we already had a Harpy represent Mai, but this card is actually tournament relevant. Like, this card will be good forever, probably, maybe. I don't know. Either way, like, this card will be good for a long time. Any battle damage inflicted to it will go to your opponent instead. That's solid. It's the best Amazoness monster. I mean, Trainee is arguably the best Amazoness monster right now for the format, but Swordswoman is probably the best Amazoness monster by itself. Sage is definitely a close second for sure. But this is a really good Ultra. The only reason I'm not like super shocked is because this was announced when the set first got announced, along with the Ultra that is right under it. And that being King of the... Oh my god, wait a minute. Fortress Whale? What? Moby Thick? It's an ultra rare. Okay, hold on. Let me talk about King real quick. Hold on a second. King of the Skull Servants was the other one that was already previously announced. So it makes me think that, zombies are not on their last leg. Zombies will get more support. Obviously, we know they're going to get more support in Trials of the Kingdom, but it might be... it's a good reprint. It's Ultra. It kind of was already foil, so it's like, did it really need it? But Fortress Whale. Oh my god. All right, hold on. We're gonna go to the next one. Oh, okay. Fortress Whale. Did they do this for me? This is hilarious. I mean, it was a fan favorite because it was only a tournament pack card, so might as well give it another reprint. But it was common, so like, what? This is so weird. I didn't expect this. If I expected it at all, no, I didn't expect... I don't think it deserved a foil, period. But that's interesting. Oh my god, I'm going to have to go out of my way to get 3 of these. That's so terrible. Holy crap. Okay, Fortress Whale rounds out all 6 Ultras. I'm so confused. I mean, I'll take that over Perfectly Ultimate Grey Moth. I get that it's like a Mega card, but I could have sworn you'd get Legendary Fisherman to be the last Ultra because of it needed to represent Mako. That's bizarre. Super bizarre. I mean, screw it, I'll take it. All right, moving on to the super rares. We already see one down here. Cabazols. I don't really know why. I mean, it's a strong dino, and it can be played in, the EFR decks or the dino decks, so I guess. I don't know. Seems kind of a waste. Like, it's the supers that I'm most interested in because those are the ones you can pull the most, obviously, and you get 2 per pack if you don't get an Ultra. And I want these to be the most tournament relevant cards. I'm really hoping to see Kunai with Chain here. Windstorm of Atakwa. Granted, Windstorm went down a bit because of that demo pack reprint or whatever. But Kunai, they both need reprints. They both need easier to get. The prices need to go down on them, first of all. And second of all, like getting foil ones, that'd be fantastic. Because they're both super relevant. They always will be. For a long time, at least in speed duels. Hoping to see Blastsphere in here as well. That needs a foil. That should have always been a foil. Ready for Intercepting we know is going to be further down here. I'm hoping to see, like, I don't know, just tournament relevant cards. Cabazol's kicking it off. It makes me worry. Because, it's not really deserving of it. But, we'll move on here. The second one's Maneater Bug. And we knew Maneater Bug was going to get it because of... Oh, there's the Fisherman. Okay. Maneater Bug was on the page when they were talking about foiling out things, and that's fine. This card has actually done a lot less than I thought it would for the format. Yomi Ship's arguably better because you can Zombina it and it doesn't target. But like Maneater Bug's still a good card, deserves the foil. That's fine. Legendary Fisherman's actually right below it. That's interesting. So you can get that super rare. But Fortress Whale's an Ultra. Whatever. Legendary Fisherman. I mean, there are Fisherman decks, and obviously there's skill circling around this card. So, yeah, I guess. Serpent Knight got a foil because he has a skill revolved around him, so why not? At least the next one I see in the bottom there, that's much more interesting and a card I would definitely love to talk about. Hyper Hammerhead. This is good. This card's really good in general. Anything that battles it bounces back to the hand. If it didn't die by battle. What's great about this is that this is actually like a good competitive card right now. It's good for dinosaur decks, and now it gets a foil treatment, of which it clearly deserves. I'm actually not against Gale Lizard being in here either. But Hyper Hammerhead for sure. Oh, actually Gillosaurus could get a foil. I wouldn't be mad about that. So that's a good foil for sure. I'm all for that one. The next one down here is Core Destroyer. If it battles a light monster, it automatically destroys it. It's good against Blue Eyes or any other light deck that ends up arising. It's a good side deck card. It'll come and go with the format. But it's also good in just machines in general right now. I'm hoping Blastsphere's in here, though. Like, if you were to talk to me about which machine needed to get the printing, it's definitely Blastsphere, not Core Destroyer. But I'm not against this. I think this card is solid. So, yeah, no, that's fine. Beatron, I actually like this. This card's really solid, and obviously just hasn't seen play because there hasn't been a deck that best utilizes it, or an insect deck that obviously could take advantage of it. But I'm okay with that. That's a good foil. I think this card will see play over time, assuming it gets what it needs in future sets. This is a solid insect monster. And we barely have solid insect monsters in this game when it comes to this Maneater Bug, and that's arguably it. So no, that's a solid reprint. I'm okay with that. I like the fact that that's a foil. That could have arguably been a foil in the main set, and I wouldn't have been disappointed. So that's all right. Oh my gosh, Slushy! Oh my boy. Oh man, believe me, you have no guys. You for the people that don't know, you guys have no idea how much I want water to be relevant. Sadly, it won't be unless they get some serious help. A legendary ocean, Konami, please. But Slushy, there was a foil Slushy in real Yu-Gi-Oh! So I was sad when this wasn't a foil in the pack, Attack from the Deep. But this is cool. No, I'm alright with that. That's solid. It's not solid. The deck's terrible. But if the deck ever gets good, that becomes solid. So that's a good. At least in my opinion, that's a good foil card. I'll take it. Why not? Moving on down, Enchanted Fitting Room. That's deserving of that. I'm okay with that. That's fine. This card can be nuts. So, pay 800, excavate top 4 cards. Every normal monster you hit, level 3 or lower, special summon it. Yeah, that's solid. That deserves it. That's a good foil reprint. I'm cool with that. Not much to say. That's fine. I'm alright with that. If that's the case, why did Cabazils come in foil? Why didn't we get like Sonic Duck? Oh my god, guys. Foil Sonic Duck? I hope that's here. I don't think it is because it's going in order of normal monster, effect monster, spell. So I think we're out of that. But, oh my god. If we had foil Sonic Duck in 2019, along with Ultra Rare Sonic Bird in 2019. Alright, next up. Summoner's Art. That's solid. I'm okay with that as well. This card's really good. And obviously you're going to throw it in your Serpent Knight deck immediately. So that's fine. I'm okay with that too, having more reprints, because that's something that you'd want a mass reprint on instead of being locked. Every Speed Duel card that's locked behind the $10 paywall of the starter decks is actually very annoying. That's why, for example, Windstorm and Kunai are so expensive. If they were in a main set and they were commons, obviously they wouldn't have been. But even if they were supers in main sets, I still think they'd be more accessible, because you could just crack open packs and pull them versus having to literally stick it behind a $10 paywall. So I'm cool with Summoner's Art getting the foil. That's fine. And oh my goodness, I'm so happy about this one. Half Shut, that's solid. This card is solid as hell. Like, this is awesome. Alright, I'm super stoked for that. That's going to be great. The card that's, target a face-up monster. It can't die by battle this turn, but it halves its attack. This card is great offensively and defensively, depending on the situation that you are playing. It's probably one of my favorite spells in Speed Duels right now. Even though right now, specifically, it's not fantastic, I feel like this is something that you can put in a lot of decks. Even something like, Gravekeeper Burn, for example, because it alters attack and defense, you can flip it in the damage step. So if they attack your Curse, for example, let's say Curse gets reborn off of Rite of Spirit, you can half shut it, so it's just not going to die for the turn, so you can wall an attack. You can also, because like I said, damage step, if something is flipped face up in the damage step that was face down originally, you can flip this on that, and it still saves it for the entire turn. I love that card. I think it's solid. Ready for Intercepting, we knew about via the products page. So foil of this, perfectly great. Perfectly ultimate great. This is why I wish Speed Duel tournaments were not every 6 months for what at least it looks like right now, because if this had come out a few months ago, this would have been way better than it is now. Don't get me wrong, this card's still amazing. But last format, like before set 3 came out, this card was arguably the best trap in the game, because every relevant deck was Warrior or Spellcaster. So had this had a foil reprint back then, it would have been a much, much bigger card than it is now. But don't get me wrong, this card is still really good, still played completely, still fine. It's just that there's other decks now that it doesn't hit, so it's more of a side deck card than it was a main deck card last format. But that still deserves the foil for sure. I'm okay with that. Give me Windstorm or Kunai. Adhesion. What? That's the last card in this set. So no Windstorm or Kunai. Great. Okay, Adhesion Trap Hole is interesting because I just covered this card in my top 5 no-shows. Cards I don't think get talked about at all in Speed Duels. And this was number 1 on my list. Okay, that's cool, because having it foil means people will, talk about it more. People will see it more in tournaments because they'll just be pulling it. Honestly, this might see more play because it's just in here. Like, a lot of people tend to forget that this is in the Weevil Rex deck because all the other cards are much more interesting. so they don't really go into this. Okay, having that as a foil, I'm okay with this. I think this card's solid. Like I said in my my previous video about this card, this card is solid as heck. Like, I think it has place in the format. Well, maybe not so much this format, but it has a place in speed duels for sure for a long time. Like, it's a good trap hole that we've started with in this game. Like, I'll take this over regular trap hole and DD trap hole and a few other trap holes. Like, this is a good trap hole to have, and it consistently could always be good. That's the best part about it. Halving a monster's attack, that's pretty solid. So yeah, that's the end of the list. All right. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below as to whether or not this is as good as you want it to. I'm sure it's not as good as people wanted it to be, but it's not terrible by any means. It's got some good stuff. So yeah, guys, let me know down below what you think. Oh, and also let me know if you guys get this. Like, if your local tournament stores get this, because it says 10/11/2019. Oh, well, actually, wait a minute. Unless that's backwards and it's November 10th now. Ooh, hold on a sec. No, this isn't the Euro page. So it should be, officially, realistically, it should be October 11th, 2019. Friday, which is today, October 11th. So I guess this is out? I don't know, guys. Let me know if your local stores have this. I think that's the biggest thing, is that the local stores the last time had such a discrepancy whether they got it officially when it came out or weeks later. And that was why cards held value, the super rares held value for so long. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Let me know. This is the biggest thing. I just want to know if this is actually out or not. But yeah, guys, as always, my name is Yuki Bros. Comment, like, and subscribe as always. I know I've said it before, but please click that notification bell to get all of our latest updates. And I will see you guys next time. Holy crap, guys. Fortress Whale. Moby Thick is a freaking foil?